Welcome to Binaural Radio Rural, a podcast around rural sounds and archives produced by Binaural Nodar, an arts organization in rural Portugal. We are pleased to present a new series on our podcast entitled An Archive is a Place, the Wayback Sound Machine in a Rural Archive. In this podcast series, we invited Maile Colbert to explore the Binaural Nodar Digital Archive, gathering and sharing recordings from its vast collection, remixing and re-contextualizing as an art form, with consideration and empathy to their original context. An outsider invited in to explore, witness and process, then share. Can an archive be a place? Somewhere between the virtual and the actual, a place we can visit, interpret with our perception and art. Maile Colbert is an intermedia artist, researcher and educator with a focus on time-based media. She is a PhD research fellow in artistic studies with a concentration on sound studies, cinematic sound design, and its relationship with soundscape ecology at the Universidade Nova de Lisboa, and a visiting lecturer at the Universidade da Maia Porto in Portugal. Her current practice and research project is titled Wayback Sound Machine, Sound Through Time, Space and Place. She is a collaborator with Binaural Nodar and a member of CineLab, Research Lab for Cinema and Philosophy, and is an editor and author at Sonic Field. She has exhibited, screened and performed globally. 11th episode.
An archive is a place. The Wayback Sound Machine in a Rural Archive. Part 1.
When we look up at the night sky, perhaps somewhere distant enough from the bleed of urban glow, we witness a living archive of light splayed out before us, a projection of the past universe, not the one shared within our actual present in which we are witnessing it, but the receiving end of the rippling event of the image's original emission. Stars long dead and cold. Stars exploded or imploded. Stars of different colors in their stages of mortality. The image we are watching has already happened and has already changed drastically.
The image we are watching has already happened and has already changed drastically.
That original moment we think we're witnessing has moved on, and even further from us as the universe expands away, like Benjamin's angel of history, looking back in despair as it continues into the future. We cannot help the future unless we address the past. We cannot address the past unless we cease to think of it as an inaccessible object or artifact, frozen in a progression of time. It is an image of the past that fuels us with the desire to create narratives of gods and angels. The power to shrink us down to nothing and make us question existence itself. That allows us to project our own humanity upon it. An image from the past, now no longer, now living and present in our own experience of it. This is how we perceive and feel it. That power in that narrative coming from within us, in conjunction with our aural present, surrounding us at the moment of experience, our soundscape. If we combine that with the knowledge that it was once, is no longer, we have a powerful event. This is a living archive, a rupture in how we think we experience a process or progress of events. And as we travel further into it with both our imaginations and technology, we are even beginning to have the ability to hear it and for it to be heard. And looking at the already gone light of stars is like experiencing time and sound, already a trace of what was emitting. Listening to a moment like this,
How do we think about its tone?
Already the act of recording includes within it the act of composition. A choice is made to frame a soundscape, pressing record at a moment, aiming a microphone that was chosen for the frame it captures, deciding upon a measure of time and pressing stop on the recording. Wherever this recorded sound goes, however it is used in its hypothetical future, it already carries with it information about its time and place, as well as the subjective and creative decisions of its recordist. Recording can be, in a sense, an act of preservation, but simultaneously an act of creation within the recording choices of the recordist, including the choice of which recording material and device to use. With all of this, something new is quite literally created. Recordings are not a window into a time and place of whence they are from. There is something created in the act, new. Recordings may become sources for something, become representation, their usage a presentation of that past, more of a stage than a window. The affect that has on the future listeners brings us again to perception. To consider sound and listening, and sound recording and compiling, is to consider the perception of time itself. An archive of such recordings can be a fluid museum and living archive, to give voice to the past and the present, while creating new experience and highlighting information within the complexity of our changing soundscapes. Over a period that usually defies our comprehension.
End of part 1.
Binaural Radio Rural, a podcast around rural sounds and archives, produced by Binaural Nodar, an arts organization in rural Portugal.